Jasad pria tanpa identitas ditemukan di danau kampus Universitas Indonesia.
Misteri kematian mahasiswa Universitas Indonesia, Akseyna Dori.
Jasad pria yang diperkirakan berusia 25 tahun itu ditemukan mengambang di pinggir danau tepat di samping gedung Rektorat Universitas Indonesia.
Polisi sempat menyatakan mahasiswa jurusan biologi Fakultas MIPA tersebut bunuh diri.
On March 26, 2015, a dead body found on the lake of Universitas Indonesia. This tragedy shocked the university. A student by the name of Akseyna Dori, a student of the Universitas Indonesia, found dead floating on the lake. What causes of his death is still a mystery until now. Akseyna Dori, or nicknamed Ace, is a student of Universitas Indonesia majoring biology. He's from Yogyakarta. He is one of the most outstanding students. In fact, he joined the competition of National Biology Olympiad a few years ago before he found death. Unfortunately for Ace, he only won at regional level. One of the sources says since after he lost, Ace became gloomy and totally changed. Yasman is the head of Biology Department of Mathematics and Science Faculty of Universitas Indonesia say, since from the start of semester until now, his achievements started to falling. His GPA didn't reach 3, just about 2.5, he said. On the March 21st, 2015, Ace called his mother to ask the plan about buying a bike for Ace. Then, on the March 25th, 2015, Ace's mother called Ace, but there is no response. Her text and message were never sent. His mother thinks that her son busy with his college tasks. Then, on March 26, 2015, a dead body found floating on the lake of Universitas Indonesia. A bag full of brick weighing 14 kg found strapping on the body. The police came to the scene and predict the man already died from March 24, 2015. 2 days before the body found floating on the lake. The police said it's possibly a suicide. Case closed. Or is it? On March 29, 2015, Ace's uncle and Ace's aunt came to Ace's boarding house to check Ace's condition, but they not found Ace. Ace's uncle and aunt asked the permission to the owner of the Ace boarding house to get into Ace's room, but they got rejected. On the same day at 9 p.m. o'clock, Ace's smartphone suddenly online. The text and message from Ace's mother were sent. Her mother immediately called Ace, but the one who picked up the phone is not Ace, but one of Ace's friends, Jibril. Jibril is well known as a close friend with Ace. They often stay overnight and go together. At the time Ace's mother's call, Jibril is already on Ace's room and also looking for Ace. He can get inside Ace's room because he got permission from the owner of the Ace boarding house. So why Ace's uncle and aunt get rejected to enter Ace's room, but Jibril not? How is this can happen? You see, Ace's uncle and aunt were rejected by the owner, possibly because the owner never met with Ace's uncle and aunt. So for security reason, the owner rejected. But for Jibril, we know that Jibril and Ace always together. So the owner of Ace boarding house must already knows Jibril is the closest friend of Ace, so that's why he got permission to enter Ace's room. However, after Ace's mother's call and talk with Jibril, Ace's mothers become worried about Ace's whereabouts. So on March 30th, 2015, Ace's fathers went to Jakarta to find information Ace's whereabouts. He then came to Ace University and met with 2 lecturers and Ace's 2 friends. One of Ace's friends tells he found a letter from Ace's room. Because of this, the dead body that found on March 26, 2015 can be identified as Ace on March 30, 2015, 4 days after a dead body found floating on the lake. Because of this, the police then update the case that this case is a suicide action because depression. Case closed. Or is it? If you see the message fills with a depression word and in English. Will not return for eternity. Please don't search for existence. My apologies for everything. This message is very odd. How is one of outstanding student of Universitas Indonesia that joined National Olympiad competition and won, even on regional level, have a bad grammar? Perhaps this video too. And if so, why don't he just use Indonesian language if he can speak English? Besides, when A's mother calls and talks with Jibril, why Jibril didn't say about the letter? For me, it's impossible the message were hidden, because suicide person has a tend to keep his feeling or the reason he wants to die written on a letter or something else before he died. If so, it's hidden, then Jibril found it. Why Jibril didn't call A's mother again? Plus, if you see the pic of the message, it looks like it's not written by same person. In fact, an graphologist expert examined the message and gave a result that this message probably not written by the same person. You see, the green line is a style writing almost like A's writing, but the red line are not. You see, it's completely different writing style between the word that marked with green line and red line. The word for, there is 3 words of for here, and only one have different style. Then the word existence is very completely different from whole phrase. Then the range between one word with another is different and irregular. Then the source also says that the signature of the message and A's ID don't match. Then there is one thing that's very odd. The another picture of A's message. The another one is a picture that was stick to the wall with a nail. A's family completely suspicious because from where and who spread this photo. Because the father only received the message from one of A's friends when he went to Jakarta to find A's whereabouts, and the police only received A's message from A's father. Meanwhile, no one can really confirm about A's message that got stuck on the wall by nail. If so, why Jibril didn't see it? Because he was one of the person that we know entered A's room. Because of this, A's family uplift this case to the police. Then the police changed this case from suicide case to homicide. On March 30th, 2015, on 3:30 p.m., A's mother calls again. There is the dialing sound, but it never got picked up. So A's mother calls one of the owner of A's boarding house and asking about A's. One of the owners said that A's still not yet come to boarding house and said that there are a lot of A's friends in A's room trying to gain access to A's laptop that has a password. Then A's mother said to the owner to ask one of A's friends to pick up A's phone because A's mother want to know about A's whereabouts. So then A's mother called again, then got picked up by one of A's friends. A's friend said that he's in the A's room with couple of friends. Remember, on this date, A's father went to Jakarta and met with the A's lecturer and friend. And also just in this time, we know the dead body is identified as A's because of the A's message. The mother maybe still not know yet that A's died, so that's why he called A's. However, at the first time, A's friends didn't pick up A's phone, even though they are in A's room. Maybe they try to keep invincible, so that no one know they are in A's room. Maybe destroying evidence and making a plot. But also it can be something else, like one of A's friends have a task or report on A's laptop, so they forced to gaining access to A's laptop. After the case is updated, the police doing another investigation on crime scene. The police conclude that A's were unconscious at the time. The police have strong evidence that back this up. We expect the damage to the back of the shoe is because that victims were dragged unconscious. There are wounds on the lips, ears, and head. Possibly these wounds are from torture. Besides, it's pretty odd if victim trying to suicide on a lake but have depth as same as victim height, police said. But however, this case were never cracked open, even though the police have one strong possibly suspect, but the evidence didn't enough. You see, in Indonesia, at least if you want to accuse a person and that person became a suspect, you must have two strong evidence. In this case, the police only had one strong evidence. Other factors are because the crime scene and A's room were late getting a police line. Because at first the police thought this is a suicide case that make the crime scene and A's room accessible from everyone come and go and make evidence when missing. On July 3rd, 2015, 3 to 4 months after Ace died, suddenly and mysteriously, Ace's Twitter account came back online and tweeted Tess. And on July 10, 2015, Ace Twitter tweeted, "I am an Ace best friend, R." This tweet of course not written by Ace, but his anonymous Ace friend with the name letter of R. Then on July 11, 2015, R through Ace's Twitter account tweeted, "I promise I will revenge all of you for Ace. I will learn how to be you, and of course do the same thing with my own way." On November 14, 2017, 2 years after Ace died, Ace Twitter came back online again and tweeted me. Ace's parents, shocked and lucky enough, captured the tweet, but the tweet is already deleted for some reason. The tragedy of Ace is connected by LGBT community inside the Universitas Indonesia. But however, Ace's father denied that his son is a gay or homosexual. His father said that it's true that the death of Ace has a connection with LGBT community inside the university. But however, his father thinks that his son got killed by butthurt LGBT community member because his son know too much inside the community. But his father added that it's just a rumor that can be justified. The death of Akseyna Dori or Ace is still a mystery that needs to be solved. The case is still running in Indonesia and still there is no clear view who is the suspect. However, big thanks to you guys watching this video until the end of this video. That means a lot to me. And show some love to Ace's father and support to his Twitter account @Mardoto. And that's the end of this video. If you like this video, please click a like. Don't forget to subscribing this channel too. Thank you guys. Peace out and stay cool.